It's the last round of the Newcastle Rugby League. It's a wide open contest in 2016, and this man will feature on our live stream on Saturday. Liam Higgins, he's on the show this afternoon. How are you, mate?
Good, Pete. Thanks for having me again. You know, I love getting in front of the camera, so always excited.
Mate, what about this backdrop? We've got a bit of colour going on.
Yeah, we do, mate. Sleepy's Day this week. It's a massive game for us on Saturday, but just obviously the whole community in general. Sleepy does a lot for the club, so as you can see behind, we've got our sponsors and everything up here. But yeah, so if you're not doing anything on Saturday, get down here and obviously support us boys, but also support a good cause in Sleepy's Day.
Yeah, it'll be a big day here on Saturday.
Yeah, mate, it'll be huge. Obviously, top of the table clash, that's a big thing. But as I said, Sleepy's Day, Peter, he does a lot for this club, mate. He's very, very well respected. Does a lot for the community and everything. And as I said, if you can get down here and support a good cause.
And of course, for the people in a state, you know, that tune into our coverage, Adam Bettridge was once coach here at South as well. Now he's coach at Macquarie.
Yeah, it's actually worked out perfect. I know a lot of the Macquarie boys are getting behind this as well. Adam was a big part of this club for many years. He was here in 2014 and introduced me to Sleepy's Day. So I know the importance behind it for him, and obviously the Macquarie boys, yeah, I've heard that they're all getting behind it and they're coming back to the club after the game and everything. So it really is going to be a massive day on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Mate, I was going through the table today. There's a good chance that you guys will probably finish second. Western Suburbs may drop into third, but I guess it depends on points difference come Saturday.
Yeah, mate, it's that close at the moment. Our aim was obviously to finish top three, but to definitely get a home semi would be massive. Yeah, we're very, very hard to beat here at Townsend. But yeah, it comes down to points differential. We've got to win this week. You know, West can knock off Lakes and they could jump us. So again, you know, just as big as us. If we beat them by 28 points, we can finish first, I believe. But just to beat them by 2 points would be happy by me, mate.
All right, let's go through the other games of the round, starting with Cessnock playing Curry. Who do you like in that one?
I would have loved to have, not that I have anything against West, but it would have been interesting to see if Cessnock won last week, because they would have been playing for fifth spot. It would have been absolutely packed out there at Cessnock. So it's unfortunate that didn't happen, but you know, Curry got a lot. You know, they're pretty much now got to start to polish things together to get ready for the semi. So probably swinging more towards Curry, but it'll be a tight one. But I just think with semi-finals and everything on next week, that Curry will be, you know, pumped up to fine-tune their season and get ready for that.
Our other match is the Butcher Boys hosting the Pickers.
Yeah, it's I guess it's not something you want to be playing for, you know, playing to jump off the bottom of the table. But they've both been unlucky this year with injuries, and you know, we played Maitland last week, and I don't know, they're sitting second last week, last on the table, and they'll tough, mate. So yeah, there's still a bit to play for. You don't want to finish with the spoon, obviously. So I'm probably just off going to who I've played, probably swinging more towards Maitland. I reckon those be a little bit too tough.
What about Lakes and West? This is a flip of a coin.
Yeah, it is, mate. If you asked me a week ago before I knew Chris Adams was coming back, I probably would have said the Maggots would get up. But now with Chris Adams, you know, he's massive. It's unfortunate for us other teams now that we're going to play against him again going in the finals. But out there, you know, at Lakes, they're very, very hard to beat. And as I said, with Chrissy Adams coming back, him and Muzz's combination, I'm probably hinting more towards Lakes, but I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, West obviously got over him as well. It's a tough one, but I'll go Lakes.
And of course, here, as we touched on, you guys up against Macquarie. I mean, Chris Hyde, he's been in sensational form in the 9. Do you see him as one of the danger men?
100%, mate. Yeah, it's a big job for me. I love playing up against Hyde. It's always a big challenge. I guess my job's to try and outplay him. And trust me, it's not easy. And you've seen this year, he's just stepped up his game again. But the combination he's had with Andy Sumner this year, I'm good mates with Andy, and he's been consistent on the field. And then, you know, you look at their forward pack, mate, Gauss, Schmiedel and Swatto. You know, they're class all over the pack. But definitely Heidi, mate, we've got to stop their go forward, and he'll obviously stop the boys out wide causing damage.
Of course, last week it was a big win, wasn't it, for Macquarie? Did you actually see that before the game started?
No, I didn't actually. Obviously, points differential came into it massively for us. So for him to get 42-0 was, you know, a bit of a kick in the backside for us. But as I said, mate, without Chris Adams, it was always going to hurt Lakes. I didn't think it would hurt to that extent. But Macquarie, it was old boys' day. They're hard to beat at Toronto. They're pumped up. I probably would have went Macquarie to win it, but by 42, no way in the world. But yeah, that's footy, mate. Lakes will bounce back from that, that's for sure.
Mate, heading into the finals, do you still train 2 nights a week? Is there a third session involved as well?
No, I can't say it's changing it up too much. We'll probably just stick to the Tuesday, Thursday routine, or if we play on a Sunday, sometimes we'll train on the Friday and, you know, skip the Thursday. But no, I dare say we'll keep it the same. It wouldn't change much. We haven't been beaten in like 6 games, so, you know, don't fix something that's not broken.
We've got that ball in your hand, mate. It's training time. You better get out there and Have a bit of fun.
Looking forward to it, mate. Get down this Saturday, as it says, for a good cause. Peter Sleepy's a legend. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else on Saturday but Townsend Oval.
There you go. 3 o'clock's the time.
3 o'clock, mate. Get down here.
The EB Square.
Yeah, get down here at 12. Get down at 12 o'clock. Oh, sorry, 11. Everything. Watch all the grades. As I said, it's for a good cause. It'll be a great day.
Right, mate. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it, mate.
We'll see you later.
Cheers.
We'll see you next week. Finals football back here on Bar TV Sports. Here on Saturday at Townsend Oval. Macquarie travel down here to take on South Newcastle Lions, and it's also a significant day for the club because it's Sleepy's Day. We've got the man himself, Peter Sleep, here this morning with us on Bar TV. Thanks for coming on the show, Pete.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having me, Pete.
Mate, let's talk about the day and how it got involved.
Yeah, well, the day started probably 7 years ago now. I was diagnosed with throat cancer, and the South Newcastle Lions come to my aid, which was fantastic. They did a benefit for me. And since then I wanted to pay back not only the club, but, people in general, communities, etc.
Yeah, and all the funds on the day go to the research?
Oh, well, they go to different charities. This year, just to give you an example, on the first year of Sleepy's Day, we raised $10,000 on the first, and that was fantastic. And we donated $500, if I remember, to the Leukemia Foundation for Rob Rouse, who was one of the first graders I played with. And tomorrow we'll give the Leukemia Foundation a cheque for over $6,500. So, since it's grown fantastic. And not only that, we've got we've got a young 16-year-old girl, Charlie Gross, who's doing it pretty tough with bone cancer. Kia Latisse, who's coming down from Narrabri, is doing it pretty tough. Melanoma. We give to a lot of charities. This year we're going to give in excess of $50,000 to charities and people that are in need.
Fantastic, mate. Your association goes way back with the club. Of course, you won a few premierships here at Souths. How do you think this current crop of players are going?
Look, I think they're in sensational form. It's the right end of the year. We've strung a few together, which is good. Toddy's in great form. I think we've got a very mobile pack. We got some quick backs, so. Hopefully we can do it. It'll take a bogey off the 88-89 team when we last won it. So, mate, I'm really looking forward to if the boys can do it this year.
Brilliant stuff, mate. The day starts bright and early.
Yeah. Well, there's months of preparation with Sleepy's Day, months. And obviously my wife is a huge contributor of it. She does a lot, and so does Dave Fleming and Peter Strickland. And it takes months to put an event together like this, and I think it's rolled into a juggernaut now where we can't stop it because people are associated with a day that come back every year, and it's just grown. We're hoping to expect over 400 or 500 people just for the Sleepy's Day area, which is fantastic.
Hey, can you remember that moment when the club got behind you and said, hey, we're going to help you out, we're going to put on a Sleepy's Day each year?
Yeah, well, the Sleepy's Day was my idea, but what it culminated from was I was sick and they put a benefit on for me. Tim Butler and Dave Fleming got together in combination with Peter Parr and Jonathan Thurston was involved too. It was a bit overwhelming, people in our situation don't think they need help or don't want help, but obviously the money helps because we get a lot of bills that get backed up with treatment. So it was a little bit daunting, and they did it. And when I turned up, there was a lot of people said I wouldn't last a week because I wasn't looking real healthy. But it was just an enormity of it. It made you feel a little bit more special, and that's what we're trying to do to other people today, make them feel a little bit more special.
Yeah. You mentioned to me earlier that you had to really push to get these tests through, though. I mean, the doctors were like, Yep. Talk to us about that.
Well, people say, and we spoke off air about, how were you feeling? How did you know that you Well, I think people know their own body, and that's what they've got to trust, their own body. I knew I was sick, but to what extent I didn't know. So I had to keep on pushing myself. Keep on going to doctors, and I eventually went to a ear, nose and throat specialist, and they took biopsies, and they said there was traces of cancer, but they didn't think it was significant. And he said to me then, he said, "I'm telling you, it's cancer." So we did a 12-month run of tests and that. In the conclusion, he said, "You're right." And I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "Yes, you are." And I said, "No, I'm not." So he scoped me again and found another biggest tumour you've ever seen, which ended up spreading to my lymph nodes, which I've had 6 or 7 operations on. And he said to me then, if I wouldn't have checked, you would have been dead within 12 months, or if I wouldn't have made him check. So you know your body. I think you're the one that's got to really push that boundary of, getting better and that. Today I go back every, 3 to 6 months, depends how I'm feeling. Cancer is a very mental thing as well. A lot of people see, obviously, the physical side of cancer, but they don't understand the mental side of it. It's very, very hard because every time you go back to a doctor or you get a lump or you get a bump or you feel sick, you go, "Oh, no." So, and that's, again, what I've tried to do is, with these young kids that I'm obviously helping and support, I'm always in contact with them, talking to them, because they need the mental side of this is just enormous.
Yeah, definitely. Mate, just back onto the footy field, yeah. Adam Bettrich, he comes back here to the club on Saturday. You know Adam quite well. How do you think he's preparing the Scorps to tackle the Lions this week?
Look, I got no doubt Adam's going to come with a barrage of players. Adam's a great bloke. I love Adam dearly. When he was at the club, I was hoping he'd win a premiership for South, and I've never seen a bloke so upset and depressed about not winning. He actually come up to me and said sorry. I said, "Mate, don't be sorry for me." He's a great bloke. They've got an enormous side. They've got ex-South blokes. They're obviously the team to beat, but nothing would make me more happy than to meet Macquarie in the grand final with South. Obviously, Macquarie is my junior club. South is my senior club. So I think if we could get together on the day, I'd like South. Sorry, Adam and the boys. But if South could do it, if Macquarie did winning, I'd have some satisfaction there.
Yeah, they really rolled Lakes the other day, didn't they? Spectacular performance.
Yeah, no, they're hot. They're good, and Adam's got to keep that in check. He doesn't want his guys to get too overwhelming, and don't think you're going to bring that game on Saturday either, Adam. All right, mate?
Meanwhile, for the Lions, what's this, 6 games in a row at the moment? Incredible.
Yeah, as I said earlier, that this is his time to be playing well, and we're playing well, and I think we're bonded more as a team. I think Toddy's got them going in the right direction. We're a mobile pack. I think we're gelling more as a team, and our defence is good. We just got to cover little lapses where we go to sleep a bit. If we can do that, then, look, there's 5 or 6 teams that can win this competition, let's face it. But I think the 2 are Macquarie and South, which adds to the day here on Sleepy's Day, which is fantastic.
Well, mate, there's the camera, and a lot of fans probably watching this right now. What would you say to encourage them to come along on Saturday?
Oh, look, I'd just love you to come down. I mean, it's a $100 entry fee, which 100% of the money goes to charities that we look after and auctions. Come down for the day. We've got Sir Lucas Big Daddy Brown, the world heavyweight, coming. He's our ambassador. He's got some great news coming up, which is fantastic for him. We've actually got a pie eating competition. We've got the world pie eating competition record holder here, so that should be a little bit of fun at half time. Rabs is hosting it, but look, come down. $100 will get you drinks, beverages, food for the day, and then we go back to the club where it all happens. The donations, more auctions. We've got a band, and we party well into the night. So I think culminating in the last game being Macquarie and South, and thanks to Adam and the boys, because all the Macquarie blokes are going back to the club. I'd just love people to come down and support the day. Once you come, I can guarantee you'll come every year.
Fantastic. A little bit of karaoke back at the club, maybe.
I don't think it'll go that bad. No. We actually got a band that can sing, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. Actually, Lucas Big Daddy Brown can sing, so maybe if I can get him up to do a song, it'd be great.
Oh, that'd be great. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate that. All the best on Saturday. and go the Lions.
Yeah, I appreciate your time and I appreciate Bar TV's involvement.
Likewise, mate. Thanks very much.
Done, Pete. Thanks.
All right, no worries. Well, what we might do now, we might take a break and we'll come back. It's game day here, Saturday afternoon football between the Lions and the Macquarie Scorpions. This is Sleepy's day, and look at that crowd that have assembled here for Peter Sleep. A massive crowd. A lot of money has been donated here today, and we'd like to thank everybody who has been involved in putting this absolute spectacle here on Sleepy's day together. Perfect conditions above, and we are going to have an absolute cracker of a game here this afternoon. It is the last round of the Tui's Cup for 2016, and we're at downtown Merriweather. We're here at Townsend Oval for Saturday afternoon rugby league, thanks to our broadcast partners in Top Better, Benedict Waste Recycling and Cornelia's Crumps. Well, today signifies the conclusion of what's been an extremely competitive home and away season, and congratulations to everybody involved. And look at this, a bumper crowd in here. The pictures do tell a story and a half here today, and this is the match of the round. Bringing you all the action here this afternoon is Morgan Campbell. A very good afternoon to you, Morgan.
Afternoon, Peter, and it's a good day to be here. It's a beautiful ground, Townsend Oval, especially this time of the year because it's just warm enough that the sea breeze doesn't kill you. We've got the barbecue tent set up here in front of the grandstand. It's a lovely scene this afternoon, and a good game in prospect too. I mean, this is the game for the minor premiership. Mathematically speaking, of course, if South Newcastle can win today by 28 points, they'll be the minor premiers. As it stands at the moment, you'd think Macquarie have got it locked up, but there is that possibility there. There's that little bit of bait that South might have a little bit more to play for than Macquarie. Either way, I think the form over the previous 15 rounds says that both these sides are going to be there pretty deep into the semi-finals. They're both sides who are in fairly rarefied air. I mean, South haven't finished this high for quite a while. Macquarie have never won a minor premiership before. So both these clubs are on a bit of a run. They've got the feel-good factor around them, and you can hear that now as Macquarie come out onto the field.
Yeah, Macquarie coming out on the field, led out by their captain in Andrew Sumner. We might just quickly go through earlier grades. In the 19s today, South's too good for Macquarie by 56 points to 22. In open grade, it was another victory to South's by 28 points to 12. And we've just had Reggie's South's getting up by 19 points to 16. Well, they're the combatants on the field. South's on the left-hand side of the screen. They're in the Sleepies jersey today, and Macquarie, well, they're in their normal strip. Macquarie, they have won 4 on the trot out of their last 5. They are in red-hot form. Both of these sides last met on the 29th of May. Victory on that day to the Macquarie Scorpions by 38 points to 16. On the other side of the coin, South Newcastle Lions haven't lost a game since the 26th of June. And then on that day, they went down to Lakes United. Since then, they've drawn 16 all with Western Suburbs, but they've won every match since. They've had victories over the likes of Central. They've knocked off Maitland twice and Cessnock. But I've got to say, it's been a while since they've faced a side above them. And today, they have that opportunity not just to knock off Macquarie, who are in first place, but to get up and secure 2 points here on Sleepy's day. So it's the Macquarie Scorpions running right to left on the screen. Today signifies the conclusion of what has been, as I said, a competitive home and away season. Bar TV, match of the round. Stay with us as James Taylor has the first touch of the football, and he comes back outside his own 20-metre line. That's Jake Lawrence. He's the second leading try scorer in the competition. 11 tries next to his name. Of course, the competition's leading try scorer is his partner out on the wing in Jared Flanagan, who has picked up 13 tries. That's Taylor again. He runs it up towards the 40-metre line. Look for the kick just inside the Morgan, and Macquarie are going to be tackled on tackle number 1, right on their own 20-metre line.
Yeah, pretty steady start of the game by South Newcastle. Just bring it off their line. Big defence there we saw a couple of times from Macquarie. There's a big Macquarie contingent up here in the grandstand today. They know there's a bit of history here that could well be made. And, of course, it hasn't been mentioned yet. Adam Bettridge, the coach who's done a tremendous job with Macquarie this year, was, of course, the coach of South Newcastle for a couple of years. This is his former club. This is where he got to go as a coach. And I think it's only fitting that he might come here today and win a minor premiership.
So Macquarie dumped into the tackle there from Ben Roos. So South Newcastle Lions here. They're going to go away and collect the football. That's Sam McIntyre out there, in off the wing, and run straight into the captain in Andrew Sumner. Sumner and Gallen combining. Came out here to training, and Todd Hurrell throughout the week has said that there's not one particular play that they're targeting on the opposition side. He sees them as a genuine threat, and why wouldn't you when you're sitting on top of the ladder, as Macquarie are at the moment. They've had 11 victories. They've only lost 3 games this year, Macquarie, and they've drawn once, while the Lions have lost 4, drawn 1, and won 10. Luckily there, Gallen was in the tackle, if you're a Macquarie fan, to stop Higgins. Backer comes down to Johnson, off the boot now of Heta. Question mark on the man with the football. I don't know if he was a touch offside. We'll have his thoughts here, Morgan. Were you thinking that he was offside, or you were okay with that?
Yeah, look close. In the end, they've said knock on, so it's not going to matter. But you can see a bit of intent there from Willie Heta with the Macquarie defensive line compressed there, looking for that kick. It was longer across the ground than it was down the ground, and looking for the winger there. So that's obviously going to be an option for them today, and it just shows that they're looking for points. I mean, South, a very high point-scoring side. If you have a look at the for and against on the ladder, these two teams have scored more points than anybody. South have scored 432. They're the highest scoring team in the competition. Macquarie have only scored 10 less. So you'd expect an attacking game this afternoon.
So that's Adam Swadling. Plays it back to Hyde. Giving it away now to Gallen. 7 tries under his belt this year, Gallen. Back to Hyde. Quick go forward. Briggs turning it away. They're coming down inside the 30-metre line, and that's Josh Schmiedel. He's after 8 tries to end his premiership round in 2016. Back there now to Sumner. He's going to put in a kick downfield. Hay was coming through, but Flanagan was there to save the day for the red and whites, and he's back out to his own 20-metre line.
Yeah, both sides hitting hard early here. It's very physical, particularly Macquarie. I mean, we saw this last week against Lakes. From the first minute of the game, with the big occasion and the big crowd and all of that, Macquarie were up hard and into them. And it really set the tone for the game, and they never let the foot up. And you can see they're trying to do a similar thing here today, but South are making good ground with the ball.
So that's James Taylor. What a run. An inspirational run, and a penalty on the back of that to help them go well down inside the Macquarie Scorpions end of the field. Of course, our referee here at Townsend Oval this afternoon is Tom Aylett. 1 week out from finals football in the Newcastle Rugby League. One might say semi-final football has come 1 week earlier, and we'd all agree with that. This is 1 versus 2, thanks to topbetter.com.au, Benedict Waste Recycling, and Cornelius Crump. We'd like to thank our sponsors in 2016 for getting on board and providing the pitches right throughout the Hunter and up through the coalfields and worldwide on the internet, taking our Newcastle Rugby League competition. That's Simpson.
Great carry there, Brendan Simpson. He's been one of their best in this second half of the season where they've had so much success. It's been on the back of the metres he's made, just carting it up and bashing into them. He's a big man for them today.
So Cook offloading, finding now Simpson again, gives it away now to Hurrell. Cut down there by Gallen. First opportunity here on Sleepy's Day. Lawrence offloading. Cook. They come out wide. There's a chance that they can go over. Flanagan's in. First try of the Lions on Sleepy's Day for 2016.
Yeah, the top try scorer in the Newcastle Rugby League, Jared Flanagan. He's a certified finder of the line, and that was good play. They got it to Jake Lawrence, who I should mention is the second highest try scorer in the Newcastle Rugby League. Got that ball out the back, got it wide, and Flanagan, one-on-one out there on the wing. He just finds his way past the last man so often. As we see here on the replay, Lawrence with an offload that many wouldn't have got away, and then Flanagan there saw the space, found his way over, and he's been doing that all season. That's his 14th try of the year. He's 3 clear of the next player on the list.
Yeah, sensational start here by the home side.
Well, hang on. What's going on here? They're going to take this off them. They're going to say that there was I think a knock on there.
I think it was a forward pass. Can we have another replay of that at the next opportunity? We just want to determine forward pass or, as Morgan mentioned, a knock on here. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's just roll this and have a look. Well, they were inching close, weren't they? Well, that was fine. That looks okay. Well,
they might have said forward pass over there to Flanagan.
Yeah. So
that was
unlucky.
A very late call. It looked for all money like a try there. The South players were celebrating, but they really dodged one there, Macquarie.
Definitely dodged a bullet. And the Lions faithful, plenty in here today, just scratching their head at that decision. So it's not on the scoreboard. We're still locked up at 0-0. So Macquarie out to their own 40-metre line before they're cut down there by Todd Hurrell. Just outside the 40 is the kick. Going straight down now to Jared Flanagan. Turns around, comes back, look up at the defensive line and runs straight into Nathan Cantor. And he's been pushed sideways here on a glorious afternoon for rugby league here in the Hunter. Approaching the 8th minute.
Gives you an idea, doesn't it, Peter? I mean, I mentioned there that Jake Lawrence is the second top try scorer in the league. He's playing in the second row. It gives you some idea. Those two, him and Flanagan, play on the same side of the field. The stats tell you how South like to attack. They like to hit that edge back rower hard at the line and see if he can steamroll them. And if that doesn't work, they go out wide to Flanagan, who can find his way over. So it's going to be that right side that you would expect to be the real focus with Willie Hedder out there as well.
Now to Brendan Simpson. Good ball. Might have been forward. We've seen that one in the eyes of Tom Aylett. Well, don't they look sharp and impressive, though?
They do. They're carting the ball up well. I mean, they're getting that swarming defence from Macquarie, and they're just marching straight through it. I mean, every set that they've had, they've been wandering up to the halfway line at least. And as I said a minute ago, Brendan Simpson, he really leads the forward pack. And you can see there, I mean, even notwithstanding the fact that he threw the forward pass, he busts through the line and makes 20 metres. You just wonder, I mean, Macquarie are coming off that big high last week. They played about as well as they could possibly play against Lakes. Might just be a little bit difficult for them to be up for this.
So we're approaching the 10th minute here in our match of the round. That's Hyde giving it away now to Adam Swadling. Straight into James Taylor. Hyde, quick go forward. Back to Cantor. Runs straight to halfway. Claimed, of course, there by Taylor again, along with Willie Hedder. Hedder, of course, playing his second season of the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Schmidl goes himself. Support left. Into the ground he goes. Put away there by Roos. So they come back now through Briggs. Cutting out Gallen. Long pass. Finds Isaac Briggs. So they're 20 metres away from the South Newcastle Lions goal line. Hyde. Away to Sumner. Goes himself. Last tackle. Turnover back to the Lions. Well, both of the sides, they've had opportunities, but we're still locked up after 10 minutes at 0-0, thanks to topbetter.com.au.
Well, that was a little bit of an idea. Josh Schmidl out there, he loves to get the ball early and run at defenders and try and beat them one-on-one. He's such a strong character. He's always favourite when he goes into that one-on-one contact out wide. And I'd imagine they're going to get a lot more ball to him today as they go straight through here. I think it's Flanagan.
Flanagan comes down to the full-back, offloads the pass. Here's a runaway try. The crowd getting excited as Tim Christie put the fire extinguisher on that man. Underneath the sticks he goes. It's 4-0 after 11 minutes of the match.
Well, Peter, compare and contrast 2 weeks in a row. I mean, last week Macquarie, it was like they had a wall up and they were just moving it up the field. I mean, Lakes couldn't get through them. They just couldn't break them. 42-0. The last year's premiers in 80 minutes couldn't score a point. There, you had Lewis Schneider, one out from the ruck, just bust straight through, put it on the other centre's chest and score under the posts. That's a real worry for Macquarie to see a centre breaking through so easily in the middle of the park.
And Chris Hyde there was just stood up, and look at the pace. We spoke about Tim Christie on our new show yesterday. It's Friday with Gareth Wazick, and we spoke about the pace and how many tries he has scored, Tim Christie, this season. And he's just about to, and he has added another 4 points to his personal tally. But the Lions on Sleepy's Day to the Roar. Underneath the post. An electrifying start. Willie Hatter, the competition's leading point scorer. This to bring up 50 goals in 2016. And 132 personal points. He's the leading point scorer in the Newcastle Rugby League. And with attempts like that, it's chicken feed for the dynamic 5'8". So said he played a lot of his rugby league in the Riverina. Came up to the Newcastle Rugby League last year. Played for Cessnock. And made Merriweather his home in 2016. But Macquarie, long way to go. But the South Newcastle Lions, they're primed, and so far they're prepped to dish up pretty much what Macquarie dished out last week to Lakes United. The 12th with it, this is Lawrence. Straight into Randall Briggs in 18. Scooting from dummy half again, they're picking up inroads, aren't they?
Yeah, making ground very easily. And some very slow play the balls. Tom Aylett's having some decisions to make here.
So there's Chris Hyde along there with his teammate. Backer comes down to Higgins. That's Hatter. He's going to go high. He's going to test Pywell out there. Pywell was in two minds there, Morgan, whether to collect the ball or to see what the ball would do. And he ended up seeing it go into touch because Sam McIntyre was flying through on him, but that's confidence there out there for Pywell.
Well, Willie Hatter, he's got a lot of different ways he can get you. I mean, he's shown a hell of a lot more for South this year than he did for Cessnock last year because I think they've allowed him to really attack. They've allowed him to use every weapon that he's got. And we've already seen him today when he's put that towering bomb up. He's tried the chip kick across field. He can get at you in a lot of different ways. He's a real threat out there today.
So 14th minute. 6-0 in the Newcastle Rugby League. The preliminary rounds come to an end today. A big day of Newcastle Rugby League. All games on today. The makeup of the finals will be known in approximately 70 minutes' time. Hyde scooting from dummy half, trying to get the Scorpions going forward, and he does exactly that. Good run there. Before he offloaded it, of course, to Briggs. Backer comes now to Sumner, giving it away now to Simon. Steps, weaves, darts. Just a few metres in from the western touchline. Played back to Hay, cutting out Gallen. Scooped up and now kicked off the boot of Briggs.
I don't think it was meant to go there, Pete.
Don't think so, but it may be effective. Pywell turns it back. Shamidal cleaned up. Last tackle, change over.
Well, I'm happy to be corrected, but I don't think Scott Briggs was trying to do that. And it looked like a pretty dozy old kick out there, mishit out to the wing. I could be wrong, but it ended up nearly falling for them. I mean, the old dodgy kick can be a tactic on occasion, and that one nearly worked. And we see there's an injury there in back play. Just try and pick up who that is. It's one of the outside backs, I think, for South Newcastle. He's making his way, looking very sore, making his way up the touchline there, holding his arm. But it looks like he might continue for the moment. If I get a look at who that is, I'll let you know.
So Higgins wants a big game today. He knows he's up against Chris Hyde. He knows he's got a lift. And so far, he's on top of his counterpart who made the tackle there. So that's the halfway line. They're going to kick it away from Simon, but Simon has to go away and collect it.
Geez, big call there from Tom Haylett. That must have been close to a knock-on from Matt Simon.
5 tries this season. The dynamic fullback. He's been sharp, he's been electric.
Yeah, he's having a few nervous moments early here. Willie Hedder's kicking, putting him under some pressure. 16 minutes gone already here, and it's really going quickly. As we see, a penalty to Macquarie. The game flying by because there's a good tempo to it, and both sides are hitting hard.
Our coverage going inside the South Newcastle Leagues Club auditorium this afternoon. Big welcome to everybody back at the club if you're not down here.
I can't imagine there'd be too many people at the club today. There's a huge crowd here today. I'd say South's leagues would be deserted. Everybody's out at Townsend Oval.
It'll rock and roll later tonight. Everybody's heading back to the club.
It will if South win 28-0 and win the minor premiership. It'll be rocking and rolling then.
Well, South, of course, they're undefeated in lower grades here today. Of course, they got up over the 19s, opens and reserves. He's a bust. Favielli, well, Pywell couldn't get to it, and the ball's gone into touch.
That was such a lovely pass there from Matt Simon. He just waited and waited and waited at the line. It was a great sleight of hand to put Favielli through the gap. And the very good pass was followed by a fairly ordinary one as Favielli busted through and hurled it into touch. So things didn't quite come off for them there, Macquarie, but it shows they've worked that right side a couple of times. You can see they think it's a real passage for them. Of course, I mentioned earlier Adam Bettridge coming back to the club he coached at. Scott Briggs is coming back today at the club that he played for many years. And I must say, when he left in the off-season at the end of last year, I thought South would really struggle without him. He was really the focal point of their attack and a lot of the things that they did. But with the signing of Willie Hedder and a few additions here and there, they've really made a good go of it this year. And compared to last season, you'd have to say they're a better side.
A massive day for rugby league throughout Newcastle. Got Newcastle Knights playing the Titans as well at Hunter Stadium. 6-0 in favour of the Titans. As we see now going forward is Ben Tupou. Referee has called it up for a forward pass here on the Macquarie 40-metre line. Downstairs there was Isaac Briggs as well. So the makeup of the top 5 we'll know in 60 minutes' time. Macquarie, of course, as Morgan mentioned, can secure the minor premiership. So they can secure the minor premiership for the first time in the club's history here today. But so far, down by 6.
It's very strange to have all 4 games on the same day. I don't quite know what the rationale is there. I mean, it seems to me, even if they'd have had Central and Maitland or something tomorrow, it just seems a bit of a waste to have all 4 games at this important stage of the season being played at the same time, so you can only see one of them.
That's Favielli. And a little bit of bother here. We've stopped the clock as well at the 19th minute of the match. So a little bit of concern here for Macquarie's leading point scorer. 5 tries this season, 50 goals, 120 personal points. Just the medical staff going over there to see if everything is okay. They've got, well, he's got his left foot out and they're just seeing if he's okay, but he's tough as teak, Thiessen, and he'll play on.
Well, I must say, I ideally hope there's nothing wrong with him. Of course, he had the drama last year of missing out on the semi-finals and because of an injury. It would be a terrible thing for something like that to happen again. Macquarie with good field position here, though. Bit of a chance to steady things after a bit of a wobbly start. Oh, that's a bit wobbly as well.
Adam Grew on the back end of that. That's Hyde giving it away. There's a gap made by Shamidal, but the gap closed just as quick. from Ben Roos. So it comes back to Hyde. Away to Briggs. Now to Gallen. There's the kick. Where's the chasers? They're coming through, but Flanagan thought for a moment he better go away, and his mind didn't perceive him. He went away and collected it before he's been picked up and driven back towards his own in-goal area there, of course, by Adam Grew. So Gallen collects the Lions as they come outside now, their own 10-metre line. They're lining up to take it forward. Crystal blue day here in Newcastle. Great afternoon for the local rugby league. Temperatures nudging 18, 19 degrees. That's Gallen again in defence. What a year it's been for Gallen. Now to Higgins, giving it away to the captain and coach. Got it back to Higgins, Hurrell. They're coming out to the commentary edge. They're looking for space. But the gap closed there from Andrew Sumner, along with Cantor and Matt Hay. So a penalty comes now to the home side, the Lions, right in front of the Sleepy's boys' tent, and that's why the crowd goes up. A little bit of niggle here on Sleepy's day. Andrew Sumner's in there, and Aylett is going to call him over here for a trap on the run.
Well, this is the last thing Macquarie need. I mean, a week out from the semi-finals, one of the great things about them this year, and one of the things that hasn't been the case in the last few seasons, is they don't have a lot of that carry-on in their game. I mean, a lot of that silly stuff, that wanting to fight and scrap and, argue with the ref, Adam Bettridge seems to have got that out of them. The last thing they want is for it to start again a week out from the finals. And South have really got the roll on here. I mean, I know it's only 6-0, but 20 minutes into the game, it's been all theirs. And this is another huge chance for them.
So header, giving it away now to Fapulii. He's in jersey number 15. And now to Higgins. Cook goes short. That's Jared Edwards in 16. In fact, that was Tupou in 18. They come back now through the right edge. Quick pull out the back. It was intended for Flanagan. Didn't quite go to Flanagan. They've restarted the tackle count here. So 6 more tackles coming up now for the Lions. Cook goes away to Heta. Charging forward now is Fapulii. Still going. He's brought down 5 metres away from the goal line. South's up by 6. Higgins. Hurrell. Ball's gone out the back. Scooped up. But scooped up to who? Macquarie pounce and come away with it, Morgan. 20 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, that was pretty poor out the back there. Finding the ground. That was a real chance for South. It was building for them. We saw again, they went down this right-hand side early in the count. They hit Lawrence, and then he hit and spun and got the ball out the back. And they were so keen to do it that they were throwing offloads all over the place. That's their line of attack, isn't it? To go down that right, use Lawrence, and then try and get their backs involved. When they went to the left, it didn't work quite so well.
So 18 minutes out from half-time. That's Adam Grew. Plays it back to Hyde. Now to Gallen. Sumner. Cantor. Wrapped up there by Header. So 6 points to 0. 22 minutes gone in the match. Hyde kicking on the last, but it goes straight down to Sam Cook. Throws the dummy. Nearly fallen for, but Pye goes across and cleans him up.
He threw the dummy. It was nearly fallen for by his own player. I think the winger over there thought that he had the ball. Just looking at the ladder here, Peter, just to try and get an idea what can happen today with all 4 games being played at the same time. Obviously, it's all going to be sorted out over the next hour or so. Macquarie are on top, 15 played, 23 points with a points difference of 164, plus 164 at the start of the day. Souths, 21 points, 100 plus, with plus 110 as their points difference. Wests are in third with 21 points with plus 90 as their for and against. Then Lakes, 18 points plus 56. So Lakes can't finish any higher than 4. And then Curry, who are certain to get into the finals, they're playing Cessnock in Cessnock today. They're on 17 points with a points difference of 0. So if Curry win today and Lakes lose, Curry would finish 4th, Lakes 5th. So it'll be a knockout game up at Curry next week. If both sides lost, it'd be Lakes and Curry at Carl Oval. Obviously, if Lakes won, they would finish 4th. But the other interesting thing, of course, is going to be 1st, 2nd and 3rd. We could end up having any of Macquarie, South or West finishing with the minor premiership and any of them finishing 3rd.
So time off again here. 18 points to nil. The Gold Coast Titans over the Newcastle Knights at Hunters Stadium after 15 minutes as well.
Should we be giving these scores? There might be people who are hoping to watch that game later on. We might be causing a lot of upset here. People will be throwing things at their computer screens or turning the sound off.
No, our subjective at Bar TV is to inform and entertain and wear a helmet if somebody will. If needed, yes. Well, they're going to go for 2 here. Sensible option when you're up by 6 with 16 minutes to go.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that might be an insight into what they're thinking. I guess for them, I mean, if they win today, they should finish in second, and that means they get a home game against West next week. I guess that's a bigger priority than trying to go gung-ho, win by 28 and finish first. So obviously if they're taking the 2, they're less worried about trying to win by 28 and they're just happy to go and win the game. So that might be a bit of an insight. They're not going for the big prize just at this stage.
So the kicking duties fall with this man, William Hedder. So 2 points on offer here. Kicking into a breeze, but not significant. A significant kick. He adds an extra 2 points. So the scoreboard bubbling along nicely. 8 points to nil over the Macquarie Scorpions here. 16 minutes out from half time here, thanks to topbetter.com.au. Get in the game at topbetter.com.au. And Benedict's Waste Recycling for all your waste needs throughout the Hunter. And of course, Cornelia's Crump. We'd like to thank all of our 3 sponsors for a fantastic 2016. And we hope our association continues with them and plenty more in the seasons ahead. Just like the Tooheys Cup competition have been around for what seems eternity here now in the Newcastle Rugby League. Tooheys, of course, the official sponsor of the League Association. So another time off here from Aylett. A little bit of rumble in the jungle out here.
Well, if it's anything like reserve grade, we will have. There was a send-off in the reserve grade game for a stomp. So it got very fractious in the second half. But this doesn't seem to be too much just at the moment. But again, I mean, it's a penalty to South, and they can hoof this into the Macquarie line and start another set. They've had all the running so far. This is completely different to what we saw with Macquarie hosting Lakes last week.
So that's the 40 and beyond. That's Ben Roos. 8-0. 15 minutes remaining first half. Down to the 30. Gallen getting off. Higgins. Back to Luke Higgins, his brother. Juggled there by Fapulii. And he just puts it down. So a few little errors creeping into both sides of the camps.
Yeah, they're wasting this field position, South. I mean, I know they've scored a try and they're 8-0 in front, but they've had 3 or 4 really good goes at them, and they haven't taken them. So you've got to think that at this stage, Macquarie should be fairly happy. I mean, they're not playing well. South are playing very well in the forwards, and yet the gap's only 8. I think it could be a hell of a lot more.
Isaac Briggs has come off the field for Macquarie. Sitting on the bench there with his partner in Adam Swadling. As Ryan Pywell comes in off the wing. Takes the shot there of Luke Higgins. Rumbling past the 40-metre line here. Just on the edge of the cricket pitch. Hyde. Looks left. Throws right. Finds Gallen. Pops it back to Hyde. This is where they can be dangerous, and this is how they love to carve you up. Shamidal still going, beats 1, beats 2, looks around and takes a dumping tackle there.
That was a great ball from Chris Hyde, another one of those sleight of hand passes at the line. A very slow play the ball here as Macquarie roll forward. There's a big chance for them for the sucker punch.
That's Adam Grew. Finding it hard to put him on his back. Schneider eventually takes him down. Last tackle here. Subner goes short to Briggs. He's close. Offloads. Lost it. So a chance gone begging for Macquarie.
Yeah, absolutely. But I got to tell you, as Andrew Sumner looks like he's in some trouble here, we might just see him hobbling. Just coming away from the referee, he's got some serious problems. And in fact, he's gone to ground so he can get some treatment. This would be an enormous loss for Macquarie, not just today, but for the future if he's got an injury, and he does look in a lot of discomfort.
So they've stopped the clock again here.
It just shows you, though, doesn't it? I mean, Macquarie are a real attacking side, and they got half a chance there, and suddenly they were on them, and South were clinging on. And that's how the momentum can change when you're playing a side like this.
The whole of Toronto has come to an halt here. Their playmaker hobbling. Their captain.
He's such an important organiser for them, you know. His kicks, he finds the grass so often with his kicks. He just, when they need to take a bit of time off the clock, he'll put it into touch. He just does all the things that an organising halfback needs to do. And when you've got that combination of him and Scott Briggs, really works for them. He's a very important part. At the moment, he's hobbling on the wing, but he looks like he wants to try and run it off.
So we'll keep an eye on Andrew Sumner. There he is there, left-hand side. Not looking the best. He doesn't want to get amongst the thick of it where the action is taking place at the moment. Big concern for Adam and Macquarie that he's still out there. He's trying to run off if he can. Now back to Tupou. That's the halfway line here at Townsend. So 8 points to 0 here. Match of the round. They're going to kick away from Simon. They tried to bamboozle him. They're coming through the Lions, but the ball might beat everybody to touch, including that man on the screen in Sam McIntyre. So a scrum will pack down here 10 metres away from the Scorpions' end. They're coming away from the southern end here on Sleepy's Day for 2016. But they've got their tails in the air as we go inside the last 13 minutes here. A big crowd, a bumper crowd in here for the match of the round. We expected it, and the fans have got what they've dished out as far as their admission price goes thus far. 8 points to 0 on the Benedict Recycling Waste scoreboard.
It really is a huge crowd over there. I reckon there'd have to be maybe 1,000 people who are in those marquees, and apparently it's $50 to get in for the day. You get your drinks and food over there. It's a really good thing that they've done, putting this together, raising a bit of money and getting a lot of people through the ground, through the gate in the last game of the season. It's a real credit to the club.
We'll hear from Liam Higgins at half-time. Stay with us. Higgins will be our half-time entertainment here on match day. So 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Who wants the ball? Give it to Gallen. He'll run, he'll spin.
I actually owe Blake Gallen an apology. Last week I said on the call that him scoring a try and scoring a double was rarer than Haley's Comet. And it was pointed out to me through the week that he's actually scored 7 tries this season. So that just goes to show you don't listen to the mug commentators. My sincere apologies to Blake Gallen and the whole Gallen family for underselling him as a try scorer. I'll be sure to be more informed before I make comments like that in the future.
It's an unbelievable stat that you've just brought up actually, Morgan. As you said, 7 tries this year. The leading try scorer for the Scorpions has only scored one more.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, in 8. And of course that's Ryan Pywell.
That must have all happened at games that I wasn't at, because I can't recall Blake Gallen scoring a try. I've probably seen Macquarie play maybe 6 times this year. I can't recall him scoring. So obviously he's been filling his boots in the rest of those games.
And Nathan Cantor, of course, equaling Macquarie's top try scorers. He's also picked up 8 tries this season. But even the likes of Isaac Briggs has picked up 6. Hyde's picked up 4. Sumner, the captain, he's crashed over 6 times. That's Brendan Simpson. He crashes down the 40. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Higgins looks up. They come right. But the defensive structure, of course, is led there by the big number 18 in Randall Briggs. He's been told, oh, hold on, he's leached out there, Briggs.
Yeah, it was a slap.
He's
more
not
than a
happy,
punch.
yes.
Was
With Willie Hetter.
It was what you might call an aggravated fend rather than a punch, but it was a little bit nasty. There's a bit of feeling out there.
So we'll stick with the play. We might be able to come back to the replay shortly of that. Nothing in it. Here's the kick downfield. Simon's trying to position himself. Luckily, one of his teammates drops back to collect the football. We might be able to have a look at that replay now.
Yeah, a bit of a hook with an open hand. Nothing too serious, but it's just bubbling away, shall we say? Both sides. I mean, they know that they're big sides. They're first and second in the competition. They want to go and show that want to put a bit of a market down for the finals. It's understandable. These sort of things happen.
Well, this is.
See, here it goes, getting ratty, and the ruck is really ratty at the moment.
I'd be concerned if there wasn't a little bit of grit in this game. The crowd love this. Not so much. A big contingent.
Well,
the Macquarie fans are here today.
They are, and you can hear them. I mean, just for viewers who are just tuning in, I mean, this game's being played at Townsend Oval. We aren't at Lowell Peacock Field today, and that was huge racket in the grandstand there for the Macquarie penalty. So if this is close late, there's going to be plenty of racket being made from both sides.
Both sides building the foundations of a tremendous rugby league clash that's about to unfold and has unfolded in the last 32 minutes. This is Macquarie's time to get themselves back into the match. The Lions, are they going to allow them to? That's Gallen. It's on the back, I think you'll find there, of Higgins' shoulder. But the referee says play on. They're going to kick. They're going to chase. There's trouble, but batted back by McIntyre. And he takes a dead goal line dropout.
Well, Josh Schmiedel there sticking it on the toe, just rolling it into the in goal. I think he played a bit of 5/8 back in Tamworth. In Group 6, I think it is up there. He played a bit of 5/8, so he's not averse to the kick. That was quite a good one. And so suddenly, I used the word before, sucker punch. I mean, South have had all the play so far in this game. 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go until half time. If Macquarie were to go in 2 or 4 points behind, South would be entitled to feel they'd really wasted the dominance they've had.
So the kick goes beyond the halfway line and rolling back towards the Macquarie 30. They've done well there to retrieve that rolling ball. It was a runaway ball towards their own goal line, but they reversed it. Now running towards the Lions' cage. Been down here a few times, been scoreless. Let's see if we can change here. That's Adam Grew. Playing it back to High, cutting out Gallen, giving it away to Subner. Throws a long pass. Cantor, he runs straight at Hetter. Before finally cleaned up there by Luke Higgins. He's awfully touched from going over the sideline, but the crowd
Now.
Loving this.
Not too pleased here because I think he's getting a fair bit of assistance from players on both sides who are telling him how to referee the game. He's just calling in Andrew Sumner. I think he'll probably have a word with Willie Hetter after that, or Todd Hurrell. Just coming out now. They never allow that sort of thing. I mean, once Tom Aylett called held, the fact that they threw him around onto his back and over the touchline, there was always going to be a penalty. You see it every week. So Todd Hurrell's not on the field at the moment, so he's called another one of the South players out. Probably just telling them to let him referee the game and them get on playing it, etc., etc. So Lewis Schneider just goes back into position.
Well, the next minute or so will tell a lot for both of these sides. Souths holding on desperately. Macquarie, the number one side in the competition, are within 2 metres. Hyde, quick hands. Briggs giving it away. Dropping down there with Swaddling. Back there now to Subner. He finds Briggs, cuts out Gallen. The ball's on the ground. Picked up by Randall Briggs. They're keeping it alive. Subner back to Gallen. He'll straighten the ship and he'll take the tackle there of Lewis Schneider. So 5 minutes to go in the first half here. Match of the round. Short ball. Sumner throws the dummy and gets the try. It was brewing and it's brewed. They're back in the match. It's 8-4 and the kick to come.
Well, they just stuck them out to the left there, and Andrew Sumner is a very good reader of the game. He saw that the South defenders were a little bit flat. They were backpedaling, and all he had to do was throw that big dummy and get that momentum going. And he was always favourite to go over. That's a well-worked try. And as I just said, inside 5 minutes until the halftime break now, Macquarie are going to be right there level pegging with South, despite the fact that they've had very little of the field position or the possession in this game. As you see here, the South defenders were flat. They were stuck on their line. They didn't come up quickly, and Sumner just strolled through.
Well, only a matter of 5 minutes ago, Sumner was playing out on the wing.
Safe to say he's all right.
I think so. After that, we'll give him the clearance. He's back, and back with vengeance. Just like this man who's going to be lining up to take the kick of the Sumner try. He was down on his haunches too, Thiessen. You wouldn't think so, though. Here's the kick now from 12 metres in from touch. Kicking towards the northern end here at Townsend Oval. First try to the Scorpions. Andrew Sumner in the 35th minute here. Saturday afternoon football. The last preliminary round of the season. Finals football next week. Here's the kick. Can he convert the Sumner try? It's coming back around. It's hit the post. Hit the post and bounced back into the field of play. So no change on the Benedict Waste Recycling scoreboard. It's still the South Newcastle Lions. They are up by 8 points to 4. Big crowd in here on Sleepy's Day. We'd like to thank everybody for getting involved, and to the man himself, Peter Sleep, who was available only a couple of days ago, who gave us his valuable time about his battle with throat cancer. And we wish him all the best. A true gentleman of the game. He's done a lot for rugby league here in Newcastle, and he's done an absolute mammoth amount of work for the South Newcastle Lions. Of course, Adam Bettrich, the coach of the Macquarie side. He knows what this oval is all about. He's coached here. He knows what it's about. He knows the importance of Sleepy's Day for the Lions as well. Let's see how the next 43 minutes unfolds. Higgins, where is he, Higgins? He couldn't take the tackle there, could he have Hyde? Last tackle now. They'll look to come to the left. There's Sumner. He'll need to throw it. He does. Here's the chance. Grew up the middle. Flicks it out the back. It's on the ground. Scooped up. Simon kicking. Simon will lead the chase and pushes McIntyre into the back. And Sam Cook comes away with it here, Morgan, out to his own 12-metre line.
Well, just hoiking it about everywhere there, Macquarie. Sometimes they can be very dangerous when they do that. I mean, it might send their coach mad, but that sort of play can come off for them when they start throwing it about. Especially late in a half like this. It's interesting, they try to get Matt Simon involved there. He's a real danger. He's got that pace off the mark. And when forwards are getting tired late in this half, and particularly late in the second half, that'll be a real problem.
So approaching their own 40-metre line here on Saturday afternoon football. Get in contact with us via Twitter at Bar TV Sports.
Stood in touch there. Well, he just had his foot on the line, Ryan Pywell, as he took that kick. It was I think he was just confused that the kick was put through. It was a bizarre kick from Willie Hedder, just basically pumping it into touch to take it to half-time. In the end, it's worked out quite well, as we see Pywell there just had his foot on the line. So there's a real opportunity here.
Let's just look at this.
Oh, sorry,
there it is, right there. Great work by our producer,
sorry,
Clay.
Hey, it's not Pywell. My apologies to the Pywell family.
It's top stuff.
There's a chance here, 21 seconds until half-time. They might get 2 plays in, but I noticed that Macquarie haven't got their fullback back, and they'd be worried about a kick like that.
Well, they're coming through. McIntyre coming through, but in hindsight, what is it, 12 seconds to go.
Well, interesting kick. I mean, I would have thought with the defenders all being up in the line, a kick behind was the play, but it possibly needed a little bit more depth than that one if someone was going to get there first. In the end, they've taken it pretty comfortably. The siren's about to go. Schmiedel takes the tackle and we're off for half-time.
There it is. That is half-time. South Newcastle Lions here on Sleepy's Day go to the sheds with a 4-point buffer, leading the Macquarie Scorpions in the match of the round, Saturday afternoon football, by 8 points to 4. What we'll do, we'll take a break. In that break, we'll have Liam Higgins. It's the Liam Higgins Show coming up right here at half-time on match day in the Newcastle Rugby League. We'll be back in a few moments' time.
Obviously massive Saturday. I was just talking about Sleepy's Day. Just tell us a little bit about Sleepy's Day and what it means.
It's a pretty special day.
Last week, mate, you wouldn't say it was our best performance. We got the job done. What do we need to improve on to get, obviously, top of the table clashes? Couldn't be more pumped for it, Sleepy's Day. Obviously, 1 versus 2. What do we need to sort of work on to get over Macquarie this week?
I think defensive display like we did on the weekend. I think Macquarie will stitch us up pretty easily. So we've got to fix up our defence for sure.
100%, mate. Anyway.
No worries.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Jeez, you're good. Good. Shut up. Simo's against his old club 2 years ago now. Playing against all the boys, obviously, Swato's twin and everything. How do you approach this game? They've got obviously a massive forward pack. It's probably one that they play off the back of Heidi very, very well. How do you come into the game like this? You're obviously top of the table clash.
It's going to be a big one. Probably try and limit their forwards. They've got a big pack. They've got an aggressive pack. You know what's going to come. Just run hard, I suppose. Try and slow them down a bit. Yeah,
100%, mate. So, Sleepy's Day, obviously, important to the club. Peter Sleep. What was I going to say? Just tell us a little bit what Peter Sleep has obviously done. This would be your second Sleepy's Day now. Yeah, obviously. What does Sleepy's Day and everything mean to you? Just give people an insight of the importance it is to the South boys.
Sleepy's a legend, mate. Like, the things he does for the community, the things he does for the club. You see him helping out with young girls with cancer and stuff like that. And the boots.
Oh yeah, the boots. I was thinking, I've actually never noticed the boots, mate.
You never noticed the boots?
Right, yeah. Do you wear them on game day?
Yeah, I do, mate. Yeah.
You do? Yeah. Righto, mate. How many line breaks you made this year?
2, I think.
Actually, I think they've both been against Macquarie as well.
They have actually, yeah.
Have they? I just made that up. Well, there you go. Too easy. We'll have a shot over here. Nielso. Big Nielso. He's one of the bigger boys in the comp, one of the youngest as well. He's second year at first grade now? Played a few games last year. Yeah, but obviously more consistent grade this year. How you find it playing up front with the big boys?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Like me.
Hey, yeah, like yourself. No, it's not too bad. When you got big blokes like Simo and Toops in front of you, played a lot of first grade games and some rep footy. It's good to play along them because they teach you a lot of stuff out there. The contact, you get used to the contact. Smashed a few times around the big boys, but you get used to it over a few years.
Yeah, 100%, mate. You said that playing with Simo and Toops and all that. You've obviously learn a little bit off them. Playing consecutive. Obviously, Toops has been with the Knights and everything, and Simo's a rep forward. You take a lot of that stuff that they teach and put under your wing.
100%. Like they've been here for a few years, and like you said, they're playing a lot of rep footy, and I'd be an idiot if I didn't take some hints off them. So I'll just try and base my game around them, and then hopefully it pays out for me.
Too easy, mate. So where we got to be better in the forwards this week? Well, I thought we were a bit scrappy last week. These guys are one of the better packs or probably the best pack in the comp. Where have we got to tidy up in order to get over the top of them?
Oh, mate, I just think if we just start like we did earlier in the first 5 rounds, we just got to run harder than the opposition, tackle harder, and if we do that, we should dominate any forward pack in the comp. Too
easy, mate. Love your work. We'll get Sambo in. Sambo's captain coach for Open. Sambo, come here, mate. Quick, I need you. He's one of the characters of the club. He's captain coach this year. We'll get him to talk a little bit about this weekend, the Sleepy's Day and everything, and what it means to him.
G'day, mate. How you going, Nico? All right, brother.
The desert runner.
Mate, 15 kilos ago, maybe.
No, you're all right, mate. I've seen you run. You're all right.
Thanks, Buzz. Yeah, no, Sleepers Day this weekend, probably, my favourite day of the week, of the year other than Old Boys Day. It means a lot to us, emotional day for the club, and, other than football, it means a lot off the field, brother.
Captain coach this year, or first year captain coach, how have you found it, mate? The hair's still all right. Actually, it's going back a little bit, but it's all right.
Mate, if you zoom in on the side of my head, you can see the grades coming through.
Well, look at it. That's all right. I've got plenty of them, don't worry. That's like, no, so mate, really, honestly, how have you found it this year? Obviously, a bit more of a challenge, but, obviously, take on that role. I'm sure you've loved it.
Mate, I've loved it. It's one thing I've always been keen to do, especially in the open game, mate. We've got a lot of blokes play first grade and reserve grade. And, a lot of the young blokes, 19s, like Connor Brigham and stuff like that, and old blokes like Ash Smith, about 50-year-olds. But, mate, love it. Love the challenge. It's been tough. Learned a lot, and, I'm, down the track, I'll keen to do it again.
Good work, mate. You've done a good job first year. Look forward to next year.
Let's learn how to kick a footy.
Yeah, right. We'll go over here. Right, this is my little brother. He'll hate being on camera. He can't kick to save himself. Let's just see how he goes. Hang on, he's not doing anything. Hurry up, you're on camera. This is pressure. This is pressure. Oh! You're going to shank that anyway. Timmy Christie, come here quickly while you're here. Timmy, mate, obviously a massive, massive day. Saturday, top of the table clash against Macquarie. We need to be better, obviously, to get over the top of them. What do we need to improve on to get over the top of Macquarie this week?
From the weekend's game, I think we just need to improve on our intensity coming out. The first 10 to 20 minutes, really trying to dominate a game, and excuse me, and just trying to put pressure on them to not just try and walk all over us, because Toronto are a big side, a big strong side, and they've done that to a few sides this year. But I think our boys are just as powerful as them. We can do the job.
Too easy, mate. Leading the semis, obviously, is the top of the table clash, Sleepy's Day and everything. How excited are you, obviously, coming here? Towns on that hill over there will be absolutely packed. Obviously, again, with Macca, on the weekend, again, he's killed it and everything. That combination, how are you finding that? He's really, really, really gelling out that side.
Yes. Macca's been killing it all season, every game he's played, and I'm sure he's going to do the same in front of all the boys here on Sleepy's Day. I know a few of the boys from Port Macquarie Sharks are coming down to watch the little man in action. That's where he used to play, I think. So, I hope he turns one on. I'm hoping that our edge fires as well. So
gets more ball off, mate.
Yeah, a little bit more ball.
Right, here he is. Shanked it. Quick, get here quickly. Luke's nicknamed himself Dozer after his game on the weekend. Trying to take it off fridge. Mate, about a really, really, really good game on the weekend. You come off the bench, playing more minutes, getting fitter and fitter. Obviously this weekend, same sort of thing. Come on after 20, they've got a big, big pack.
Yeah, same thing as on the weekend, really. Really, once Simo, he always puts in strong for that first 20, so it kind of makes my job a bit easier, always coming on, and the team's usually a bit knackered, so just help them out a bit. Play off the back of you, hopefully. So.
Yeah, I put you over for a try last week. How many beers is that you owe me now? You only had to beat 3 people to do it, but it's still a try assist.
Well, I wouldn't say it was a try assist. It was pretty much the opposite. You'd done nothing. So.
What are you talking about? It was the last ball through. That's sweet. I get a beer. I think that's 4 you owe me.
No, we'll stick with 1.
How many tries are you on this year?
4.
I'm on 7. Yes! Got him. No, it's not. I win. That's it. Hear that, Mum and Dad? I win. Obviously Saturday, Sleepy's Day, 3 o'clock, kick off at first grade, but get down here for all 4 grades. It's obviously for a very, very good cause. It'll be a big day, top of the table clash. So get down here and support the Mighty Lions. Cheers.
And we're back here for the second half here. Have a look down here towards the northern end of the field. This is what $100 gives you. This is the pie eating competition. I don't know if we might be able to get a shot of the pie eating competition. We might be able to zoom right in there. And of course, the event is being hosted by former NBN sports presenter Mike Rabbit, doing a fantastic job down there, Mike. He's been on the microphone all day as the MC here at the club, but I don't know how many pies this guy has had so far, but he's been at it for the last 10 minutes. So let's say a pie every 30 seconds. He could be going close to 20 pies. We could be breaking some sort of record. He's brought his mates along for the journey as well. Elmo's down there as well from Sesame Street. But just have a look at the crowd as we pan to the right-hand side of the stage. They are jam-packed in here for Peter Sleepy's Day. It's been an exciting day of rugby league on the field so far, with South leading at half-time by 8 points to 4. You cannot get any more room down there. They are packed in like sardines. And, of course, Sleepy's Day tackling cancer. We've got the Stars from Sesame Street.
Yeah, we've got Elmo. I don't know what that's all about. The connection between Elmo and the Newcastle Rugby League is not one I'd made before.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated as to how it's come about. Good luck to him, I suppose. Yeah.
He's red and white. Give him that. He's red and white.
He is, yeah.
I wouldn't say he looks like a lion, though.
No.
But look at
fair
that.
enough. Ours is not to ask why, I suppose.
But just check out that. They've been here since 12 o'clock, all those supporters of Peter Sleep, past and present players, family and friends. And we're back underway for the second half here on Saturday afternoon football. And Macquarie Scorpions down by 4. They're down by 1 try here. Foreign territory, I guess, for the Scorps over the last 4 or 5 weeks to be down at half-time in the clash. So let's see how they can get back into this. It's anyone's clash. It's a wide open affair. That's Chris Hyde waiting in a dummy half. Where is Chris Hyde? He's always lurking around. He's going to go to dummy half again. Of course, Chris Hyde was in the top 3 of the rookie program on the 9 network this year, and tremendous effort to get into the top 3 and represent the Newcastle Rugby League on a national program.
What's going on here? Why wasn't Jordan Noble allowed to play the ball there? The referee called him into position once and then called him into position again and made him play it 3 times.
So Briggs, that's the halfway line, banging the ball downfield. McIntyre here. He gets it off the first bounce. He runs across field before Vivali Eli is there to mince him into the ground here. Along there with Pywell. So the first touches of the second half here to the Lions, running towards Sleepy's End in the second half here. That could lift them. That will lift them. Header, banging it downfield. Collected over there by their winger. Out towards their own 20-metre line comes Matt Hay. 4 tries in 2016. Matt Simon, after his 6th, picked up 5, coming into the final competition round here in the Tooheys Cup. So they're about to hit the halfway line here, and they're about to hit the captain and the coach in Todd Hurrell. That's Gallen. Puts the shoulder into Luke Higgins. Coming back down to Scotty Briggs, giving it away this time to Shamidal. Referees just call the halt to this. Giving a penalty away to the Scorpions here, Morgan.
Well, an early chance. I mean, they scored just on half-time, so they had a bit of the mo going into the break. Got to remember, it was 8-0 for most of the first half. South had most of the play.
Yeah.
So another Macquarie try here would be quite sickening and really reduce all of their efforts in the first half to not much at all.
This is it on the replay.
Yeah, ugly
tackle.
Really ugly tackle.
As we come back now to live shots. 10 metres out. Hyde. Gallen. Shamidal. Looking for his 8th try. Any try would be beneficial at this point, and they've got it. They've got it. They're rejoicing. And the fans that have travelled from across the lake rejoice with them.
Well, it's a simple game, rugby league. You get a big bloke with a bit of momentum flying at them from a couple of yards out, and sometimes they bash through and score, and that was about what was involved there. I think it was Randall Briggs in the 8 who bashed his way through. Isaac Briggs, in fact, in the 8 who forced his way through there. And, well, it was Hyde there, just held the pass up long enough, and Briggs crashed over, gave it a bit of slam into the ground, probably gave a bit of gob off to the South players. and got back into position. And Macquarie, having been 8 points down just about 5 minutes before half time, are going to probably find themselves in front 5 minutes after half time.
So Randall Briggs in 18 gets the try, the first try in the second half of the Scorpions. And what a try it was to put them at level pegging to one of the three Briggs brothers who was out there today. Of course, Isaac Briggs is in 8, along with Scotty Briggs in 6. So here's the chance now to go to the front for the first time in the match. And they do that. The touch judges raise their flags. So the Scorpions 8, Souths. Scorpions 10, Souths 8. As the crowd here a little bit hushed. A little bit of a hush goes around the crowd. Early days yet.
So I can tell you from the other games, now this is interesting, just looking around the grounds here, Peter, in the Wooden Spoon playoff, Maitland 24 leads Central 12.
Yes.
In the Coalfields derby, and this is enough to make Cessnock people think what it might have been, Cessnock 22, Curry 0. 22-0? 22-0, Cessnock led Curry. And I can also tell you at Carl Oval, in the match between Team 4 and Team 3, Lakes playing Wests, I can tell you that Lakes led 24-10 at half-time. Now, what that all means for the ladder, of course, is we have Macquarie in front here over South. If those results were to hold, Lakes would remain in 4th.
Yes.
And they would host Curry next week in a knockout playoff. But also importantly, even if South were to lose today, with West in a losing position at Belmont, South would still finish second with a defeat today. So, and of course, if South were to win, they would stay in second as well. So, at this stage, if results stay the way they are, it'll be South against West here at Townsend Oval next week. Winner plays the first place team Macquarie for a spot in the grand final, and it'll be Lakes and Curry in a knockout. Loser leaves the country, probably at Belmont next week. That's if things stay the way they are. There's 40 minutes left.
We're just back underway in the NRL. It's half time. Has elapsed, and the Titans leading the Newcastle Knights by 18 points to 6. So a 12-point game at Hunters Stadium. A much closer affair here in the local Newcastle comp. That's Hurrell, the captain and the coach, in his last year at the club as captain coach. Before
hang on.
A little bit of niggle here. He's not happy, Hurrell. We'll check it out on the replay. But Hurrell in his last season as captain coach, of course, he's handed the reins over to Ben Cross, the former Newcastle.
That's been decided, has it?
Yeah, that's been decided.
Oh, it'd be interesting. Ben Cross, I know he's involved with the club. He's, of course, a former NRL player, a former State of Origin player, a great player in his time, particularly with Melbourne and then with the Knights.
He played a bit of footy over in the UK as well after his stint with the Knights.
Yeah, had a good career. So he'll, you'd imagine, have plenty of insights for this South team. Todd Hurrell's done a good service over a number of years now for South. He's been a good club man. Of course, playing and coaching, I can't imagine it's easy. But he's done well. And I mean, the performance of South this year just goes to show how well he has done. He lost his best player, Scott Briggs, and then has still managed to pick the side up. And he's got them pushing for the minor premiership on the last day. So that shows what sort of coach he's been for South and what sort of job Ben Cross will be stepping into.
Yeah, a few new coaches in the 2017 competition. For Steve Kidd, appointed coach of Cessnock Goannas next year, returns there. That's Hurrell. This game hanging in the balance. Johnson. Oh, they couldn't scoop it up. Just couldn't quite scoop it up. The Lions.
Well, that's the second time they've gone to that left-hand side in a really good attacking position. And it's the second time the ball's hit the deck. And Macquarie have ended up with it. They've got some issues out there. I mean, the stats tell you that they're red hot on the right-hand side. I mean, they've got Flanagan and also the second rower, Lawrence, scoring a lot of tries out on that right-hand side. But when they go to their left, It's nowhere near as slick and nowhere near as dangerous. And to have a lopsided attack like that is a real problem because teams really, in those big moments, are going to know what's coming.
Morgan Campbell in our commentary box, doing an outstanding job for the Newcastle Rugby League. Got the presentation night in a few weeks' time. The interviews, night of glitz and glamour.
Glitz and glamour, but I've never really associated the Newcastle Rugby League with glitz and glamour, I must say. I'm intrigued.
It's time to hit the formal shops, Morgan, and get your best clacker on. Call back. Will come back. Look at that breeze. It's certainly intensified. Macquarie running into it in the second half here.
Has intensified, but they're having some wobbly moments here. South, that was, I mean, it was a dangerous kick and it shook around in the breeze and all of that, but this is a real chance here for Macquarie. I mean, they could be out of sight in a few minutes if things keep going like this. Sam Cook just sort of running past it almost there. He tried to get his momentum onto the ball. Didn't quite come off for him, and now Macquarie setting up the stall, really. 22 out for the full set of tackles. I got to tell you, South by 28 is looking fairly distant at this stage. Macquarie could really put the minor premiership to bed in the next few minutes.
So Scott Briggs dishing it away, angling it towards the middle. Noble back to Hyde. Gallen reaches out, did well, offloads. Sumner, he offloads, and Cantor's within 3.
That's a lovely ball, just held it up right at the line.
They come the edge, there's a chance. The chance turns the points. Hayes in.
That's terrific play. The trick shot down the left-hand side, and you can see the excitement on the Macquarie faces here. They know that should wrap it up for them. If South were going to overtake them now, they'd need to score 6 converted tries. Macquarie are going to be the minor premiers this year. Whatever happens, you'd think over the next half an hour. And it's been plays like that have got them there. That was really clever football. They played that short down the left-hand side. They had an incredibly short side there. And yet, as we'll see on the replay in a moment, they had the sense here to switch it. It was Sumner at dummy half, Hyde at first receiver, which in itself is unusual. And then Matt Hay, who obviously knew it was coming, getting on the end of the pass and just being able to stroll over like he was walking the dog on a Sunday afternoon. Lovely play, Macquarie.
Yes, it's taken them a while to click here today. But when they click, they click. So 14-8, the Scorpions. A very difficult conversion right now. As you can see, the flags, well, they're doing them no favours. Kicking into the gale. Giving it a lot of height, but the breeze takes it across the face of goal. So the Benedict Waste Recycling scoreboard, 12 minutes gone. 14-8. 14-8 here on Saturday afternoon football. The last preliminary round of 2016. Finals football, a big double header next Saturday and Sunday right here on the home of Newcastle Rugby League Bar TV Sports. If you can't get to the games, always log on and enjoy the stream wherever you are across the globe. Bar TV in 2016. Back now to the try scorer. Picked up his 5th try with that attempt. Matt Hay. So Hurrell dropping off, the captain and the coach. They push forward towards the centre of the field. The cricket pitch is about to come into the picture. That's Gallen. 48 metres away. Hyde kicking downfield. In between fullback and the winger. And Sam Cook along there with Jared Flanagan. They just see this ball go trickling into touch.
Lovely contribution there from Chris Hyde. We've just seen him set up a try with a bit of ingenuity down that short side, and then knowing that now Macquarie got the advantage, just jumping out of dummy half, jamming it into touch, lovely play. And that's I've been saying it for a few weeks now, but that's the difference between Macquarie now and Macquarie over the last few seasons. They've always had the talent, the flair, and the ability to score points, but they make better decisions. They manage the game a lot better, and that was an example. And now there's a push in the scrum. Oh, that'll get the punters back to rugby league.
Oh, what's the margins with this? Back to Shamedal. He's still going, Shamedal.
A push in the scrum, Peter. Haley's Comet, where is it?
Oh, that's a highlight. Put that down as the highlight. Back it comes now to Briggs. He's within 2 metres of crossing. 14 points to 8 here. Hyde, dangerous. Offloads, Subner. Briggs, effective. Varvielli, can he offload? On the ground. Pywell picks it up. So 25 metres away from the opposition's goal line. Comes back away now to Briggs. He goes to the gap. And the gap closes.
Quickly.
They were, weren't they?
Very quickly there, South. Scott Briggs was a little bit surprised. I think he looked to his left and all he saw was red jumpers.
So comes back then out of the 10-metre line. That is the last tackle here for Macquarie. Where's it going to come now? High goes for a dig. He's got Gallen. Try! Over the post! Oh, the crowd! The crowd rejoicing again! And he pumps the hand. He pumps the fist. Oh, it's been a slaughter.
The try-scoring machine.
Always.
The 8th of the year.
8th
Where
try.
are the stats? There it is. I was into him last week. I said he never scores. And he's jagged another one. And that was lovely play again from Chris Hyde, jumping out of dummy half, lining them up, slowing the play right down, and then feeding a lovely pass there to Blake Gallen, who was able to waltz over, untouched, I'm fairly sure, as Noble took that hit up. It was just a settler. Gallen was calling them out to the left. I don't know if he knew what was coming. But Hyde there just drawing the man in, and they're a little bit slow on their line there, South. They are having a little bit of trouble when Macquarie get into their area. They're very slow off the try line with their defence, and it's cost them again. And all of a sudden, Macquarie, having been you've got to remember they were 8-0 down with 5 until half time, and South had a lot of chances to extend that lead. And now, Macquarie are going to be 2 converted tries clear. And just for the mathematicians out there, remembering that South need to win by 28 points today to get the minor premiership. At this stage, assuming, I think this is Scott Briggs taking the kick, is it? Is that right, or Andrew Sumner? Or someone? It's not Tyson Farvielli. Yeah, Scott Briggs putting the kick over. I thought so. Assuming now that it's 20-8, South would need to score another 40 points to give themselves a minor premiership. So I think you can probably say, if you're watching this at Toronto Workers Club or somewhere in the Toronto area, that your team is going to be minor premiers for the first time in its history. And well done to them too, it's got to be said. Tremendous achievement.
First time in history, you're quite right. It's been a long time coming. Will it be 2016? That's Adam Grew. 3 tries on the back of his surname this season. Had a lot of impact off the interchange bench, Adam Grew, when needed. I think he's got the formula spot on, Bettridge. That's Gallen, 8 tries. 8 tries this season. For a lock forward to score 8 tries in any rugby league competition is a phenomenal effort.
40-20's on here. Oh,
just
close.
outside 20, I think.
It's a decision for Greg Ricketts. He's going to say it's a yard short.
Yeah.
And I don't think that'll be especially popular. but we've seen a few of them. Macquarie kick more to 40-20s. I haven't got any stats on this, but I'd have thought, just from my memory, I don't think there's another side that kicks as many of them as Macquarie do. They love a 40-20. Andrew Sumner's very good at it. And they very nearly put another one on them there, but hasn't the momentum of the game changed? I mean, South had all the running in the first half, all the possession, field position. They made a lot of half breaks, passes didn't quite go to hand. It's completely turned around. Oh, hello. Now, you
penalty
want to talk
from
about
the scrum.
A differential penalty. Now, this is going to get people back to the game. I know we've got a big crowd in here today, aren't they, putting on a show? Hey, we've had a push in the scrum and then a differential penalty.
We've seen it all.
Oh, marvellous.
Oh, isn't rugby league a fascinating game?
1982 was upon us. Splendid.
forwards are built like 1982 in the Newcastle Rugby League as well. Traditional rugby league. We love it. There's sides amongst the pack, and you can distinguish front rowers from wingers. Not so the case in our National Rugby League these days. Grinding their way down to the 10-metre line. 20 minutes to go in the match. Higgins, Hurrell, Gallen, offloads, out the back door. Taylor, he's 2 metres away, flung sideways there from Hyde and Gallen. So Liam Higgins goes from dummy half, cuts out one, long past the Christie, steps, weaves, after two, comes to Gallen, tries to beat him, Gallen around the leg.
Great tackle, Blake Gallen, that was a beauty.
Higgins again, back out the comes, Heta, out the back door, Cook, there's a chance if they can be not bundled in the touch, it's still on, they'll get down low and score, they're in, try to the Lions.
Well, Jared Flanagan, there he goes again.
Flanagan picks up his 15th try in 2016.
Well, he's done it again, Jared Flanagan. As you say, 14 tries this year. He's just so good at finding the line. Of course, he very nearly scored one down this... Well, he had one taken off him down this side. He did everything right. And now on the far side over in that corner, he had a lot of work to do there, as we see on the replay. Higgins with that floating pass. Header, we've said it a few times, that right-hand side defence. But look at how Flanagan here. He's odds on to go into touch. And then he rebounds, gets down low, and gets himself to ground. There's a fair shout that he had his foot on the touchline there. That's certainly the point Randall Briggs was making. But he can read about it in the paper tomorrow, I suppose, because the points go on the board. Flanagan goes to 14 tries, and South are back in the game.
Don't go anywhere. Crank up the data. Get yourself comfortable. Back within 8 points. 1 versus 2. Willie Header. Breeze behind him. Distance will be no issue. We're looking for direction. Coming around. I said distance won't be
no issue.
which it proved to be the number one thing.
Lovely.
Well,
long live the curse.
Yeah, that is why he's the leading point scorer. That's why he's kicked 50 goals. I'm not sure about that. He had an awkward moment.
It's not the only one.
I can't help that you nearly choked on your steak sandwich, Morgan. But you've come good, mate.
That's right.
When you needed to.
That's right.
You've lifted.
That's it.
Just like South.
Well, they got the chance to lift. I mean, they're 20-12 down, 8 points. Still plenty of time in the game. I mean, 19 minutes to go. As Todd Hurrell nearly bust through there. It is a chance for them. I mean, this will tell you a little bit about both these sides. I mean, if Macquarie got the Macquarie, they've got the minor premiership locked up now. Have they got the intent to keep going and keep hitting hard right until the end of this game, when winning or losing isn't going to make a huge difference to them? And do South have the ability to chase a game? Because that's something they could have to do in the semi-finals.
So Hurrell to the halfway line. We've got a ball game. Comes back there now to Header. He turns it back on the inside. They're running aggressively. Look at them go. This is Taylor. He got the ball back. Header. Will he reach out? Oh, he's been brought down there. They're 2 metres out there by Sumner. That's why he's the captain. Back there now to Higgins. They've got space out wide. They've got the numbers. It's just a matter of going themselves and scoring. They do. Schneider. He gets the Lions back in the match. Oh, it's a ball game, all right. Saturday afternoon football. It's alive and well here at Townsend Oval.
Well, there you go. I mean, they were gone a couple of minutes ago. Macquarie was steamrolling them. They were absolutely all over them. But a bit of quality from South there, and consecutive sets of 6, consecutive tries, and all of a sudden the gap's back to 4. That was tremendous play. It was a good sign for Macquarie when they got everyone back on the line after that break up field. It was the tremendous tackle from Sumner. They scrambled well, but they were just a little bit short on this side of the field. And cool head there from Lewis Schneider, throwing the dummy very, very gently in the end and strolling over to put the ball down. And yeah, we've got a game, all right. This is setting up for the big grandstand finish. Of course, these players don't know that West were losing at half-time. As far as they're concerned, this game's the difference between coming second or coming third, and it may well prove to be. So there's plenty to play for in the last quarter hour.
So he's doing up his boots, Willie Header. It only seemed like a couple of minutes ago he was out here. And that's exactly why. It was only a couple of minutes ago when they scored their last try.
That's right. It was only a minute ago.
So he knows what he has to do. He's learnt, has he, from his previous attempt. This time, a little bit more force behind the ball. Force equals points. Points equals applause. And we've got 17 to go here on Saturday afternoon football. 2-point ball game, Morgan Campbell.
Indeed, 2-point game. There you go. In the space of 4 minutes, 10 points. And, well, I said it. I only just said, I mean, it'll be a good test for both sides. Will Macquarie keep turning up in defence, keep pushing hard and go on and win the game? Even though the minor premiership's saying up, if they keep scoring a try every 2 minutes, they might still lose the minor premiership.
Funnier things have happened in rugby league.
But it shows you, doesn't it, Ben? I mean, it shows you that South have got a bit of firepower to chase the score. I mean, that was just James Taylor just carting it up like a demon and busting through.
Well, you can't be complacent in anything in life, let alone on a rugby league field. Both of these sides, they know they're in for one hell of a battle now. 2-point ball game here in the match of the round, 1 versus 2. Scorpions going for the minor premiership for the first time. McIntyre goes into the turf. 40 metres out. Plays it back there now to Higgins. Look for the kick. There it goes. Angling it towards touch. It's out on the full. He's kicked it out on the full.
Wow, there's a way to take the air out of the balloon. Dear oh dear. Luke Higgins, you could see what he was trying to do, sending that arrowing kick down. I suspect he was looking for the 40-20. Macquarie didn't have anyone back on that touch line. It was definitely on. But, just miscued it. Found touch on the full. Takes all the momentum out of South's little rollout going there, and all of a sudden they're defending.
So Hyde comes the short side. Finds Josh Shamidal. Look at the defence. Hitting in threes. That's Hyde again. Going short now to Alchin. Beating one tie. Comes to Ben Tupou. Wrapping him up, ball and all. Quick play the ball. Hyde. Subner. Goes out wide. Finds Simon. He finds Hay. And Jake Lawrence wraps him up. Along with Taylor. So 10 metres away now, the Macquarie Scorpions. Back to Isaac Briggs. Slammed to the ground there by Tupou. Along with Higgins and Hurrell. Hyde. Here they come. Simon. Varvielli. Dangerous. Losing it. Turnover back to the Lions. And Johnson's come up with it. Great defence there by the Lions on Sleepy's day. That's McIntyre. Header. Calling for Ayler to blow his whistle. Not forthcoming here. Gallen again in the tackle. Along with Isaac Briggs. They're lining up to take it forward again. Lifting with every run. The red and whites of Merriweather. The Lions.
It's another big carry there from James Taylor. Hasn't he done a little bit in the last few minutes to lift his side?
Higgins back to Header. He's going to take him on. Now he'll need to kick. And kick he does. Away from Simon. Where's the chasers? They're coming through. He's got the welcoming reception party led, of course, by Schneider. And they drag him back towards his own in-goal area. So Matt Hay here. Scoots it across field. Good tackling game here required by the Lions. To borrow a line out of the zoo, they need to cage their opposition inside their opposition's 20. Hyde again. Again, he cuts out Gallen. That's the 20-metre line here. So 2-point ball game. 13 minutes remaining here on Saturday afternoon football. Nice tackle around the legs there of Alchin. They'll need a kick to get out of jail. That's the 40. That's Sam Cook. Their fullback. Straight into Ryan Pywell. Spins, offloads. Flanagan! He goes straight through! Flanagan! He's inside the 20! He takes on Simon! What a tackle! What a run and what a tackle!
What about the turn of pace from Jared Flanagan? He absolutely exploded through that gap. And there's a huge chance now for South. They've got Macquarie rattling here.
So they come back in the middle of the park. They're lining up out here. It's just a matter of throwing it. Oh, what a shot. Varvielli had to take the man, and he did.
Oh, he had to throw it, Peter. He had to throw it.
Time off. What's he want now, the referee?
Tim Christie had them shot to bits out here. If the ball had been fed to him there's a stoppage, a very well-timed injury here, you'd have to say, for Macquarie. I'm just trying to pick up who that is. I think it might be Isaac Briggs in number 8. But, gee, they had the roll on there, South. And if that ball had gone out to Tim Christie, South were hitting the front, I can tell you.
So Higgins looking around, trying to identify who he's going to give the ball to. That's the run, but we'll come back to the live shot. Live play action here continuing on Bar TV. Header goes himself, finds Cook. Wrestled down there by Briggs. Where are they going to pepper now? Tupou. Straight to Alchin. Higgins. Goes himself. Looks up. Johnson. Back to Roos. Bends close. Put down there by Gallen. Last tackle now for the Lions. Will they dribble it in the in-goal area? Oh, they've lost it. Header. He's put it down. Right on the opposition's 10.
I'd have thought that Willie Hedemon had about 17,000 things going through his mind at that stage, and none of them will catch the ball. He was thinking about what he was going to do with it. Will I kick? Will I pass? Will I run? Step? Prop? Grubber? All of that. And he forgot to catch it. And that can happen to anyone. But that was a particularly inconvenient one. But I got to say, the best play out of all of that for Macquarie was Isaac Briggs going down with that injury, because it just slowed that attack down South. Had them shot to bits both sides of the ruck. And Isaac Briggs going down for an injury just let Macquarie get their defensive line set. I'm certainly not suggesting that's why he went down. He does look like he's in some trouble behind the in-goal, just up that end of the field. But in the end, it just gave Macquarie a chance to get themselves back together.
That's Brockhammer going across field for Schneider. Wraps him up. They're about to come to the 40-metre line. 10 minutes here in the final round of 2016 unfolding. 2 points splitting them. Hyde kicking downfield. McIntyre goes back to his goal line. And Subner leads the chase along with Chris Hyde. That's the 10-metre line. That's Flanagan. Straight to Hay. 10 nervous minutes to go. Wherever you're watching the coverage, stick with us. The minor premiership is up for grabs for Macquarie. The Lions out to spoil the party as far as 2 competition points go as well. Who wants it? An outstanding game. A seesawing game. The pendulum. It's swinging in the breeze here this afternoon here on Saturday afternoon football. And that's Matt Hay. How's your fingernails, Morgan?
Well, they were all right because I'm a neutral. I wouldn't have thought they'd be too good if I was a South supporter. I think you'd have to say they need this a little bit more than Macquarie. I mean, I don't know what's happening at Belmont at the moment.
Oh.
If West have found a way to get past Lakes, there's a penalty here.
No, yes.
One. Yeah, it's a penalty for Spear on Matt Simon. I haven't seen a progress score from Carl Oval, but if West have got past Lakes, then a loss today for South would mean that they'd finish third. They'd have to go to Harker Oval, and that's never a pleasant experience for anyone who's not a West player or a supporter. So there's a bit to play for in this last couple of minutes. It'd be a big win for South, and it'd be a bigger win for South than it would be a loss for Macquarie.
So there's the kick in towards touch. And that's where they've been able to find it, right there on the 20-metre line. So the Scorpions. There's a hush. Goes around the ground. Hyde. Giving away to Alchin. Straight and hard into Tupou. Can they seal the deal here? They've got a penalty. They've got a penalty now. Do they? He's put him in the bin.
Hang on.
I think you'll find Tupou's being put to the sin bin here.
Yeah, Ben Tupou, I think it is, in 18, has been sent from the field. He won't be back today. Of course, you've got to remember 7.5 minutes to go, so the 10 in the bin will finish his afternoon. It means that South have got to finish this now with 12 men. There's a bit of question being thrown to the sideline here of what what Macquarie are going to do, and it seems like they're going to take the 2, which is a bit of a strange option, really. I mean, they're only 2 in front. Being 4 in front, I suppose, in one respect, means that if South were to score, Willie Hatter would have to convert, but it doesn't really help them that much. I'd have sort of been inclined, especially now with 13 or 12, to take the tap and try and finish the game.
So Macquarie, they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard in the first half, but they never gave up. They were the first try scorers in the second half. Souths pushed them, but Macquarie, with this kick, going to go on with it. They're converted. 22-18 here, with 6 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here on Saturday afternoon football, right here on the home of Newcastle Rugby League, Bar TV Sports. South here through Heta, coming back to the halfway line to get this match back underway. 6 minutes to go. Is he going to bang the life out of this ball, or will he try the short one? I think he's going to go deep. He has to, and he does.
I think it'd be a bit early for the short kickoff at this stage.
7 minutes, yeah.
5 minutes, 35 seconds to go here on the clock at the ground, which is matching up very well with the clock here on the screen. And South have got to find something now. I mean, they've got to find a trick play, and it's a good indicator for the semi-finals. I mean, you may end up in a situation like this. They've now given away a penalty, which doesn't help.
Hands in the ball.
But it's going to, you'd imagine if South do get the ball back here and they're still in the game, it's going to be up to someone like Willie Hatter to come up with a play.
So Macquarie coming into this match, they have won 4 on the trot out of their last 5. And Souths haven't lost a game since the 26th of June when they went down to Lakes United. There was a draw at 16-all with Wests. But that doesn't mean much now inside the last 5 minutes of competition round of 2016. This is Ty Alchin. Heads south. They're lining up. They're lining up in support, but they're also lining up to offload. And that's where Rex Johnson identifies the lost football and comes away with it for the home side.
Well, here's their chance. They've got a bit of a roll on here. They've got the Macquarie defence going backwards. 4 minutes to go. And they've got, 4 tackles. Well, they're going to get 6 tackles and a binning. There's another binning.
So we're down to 12 all here, and he's sent another one to the bin here, this time for Macquarie.
I think it might be Nathan Cantor who's been sent. It was a bit of scrap in the play of the ball, just slowing it down. I don't think it was anything violent or dangerous or anything like that. But just, I think Tom Aylett's had enough of all the niggle in the play of the ball. So he's been Ben Tupou, and now he's been Nathan Cantor. And, of course, what that means is, I mean, Macquarie are down a centre.
Yeah.
And they're back to 12 on 12. And suddenly there's a bit more space on the field, a bit more opportunity for someone like Willie Hatter to set up some points. So he's going to jam this into touch here, and they'll have a full set of 6 with 3 minutes 56 seconds on the clock to try and nick this game.
Well, this is the potential set of 6. Macquarie just being told to go back.
Well, hang on. If he's telling Blake Gallen to get back, I mean, if they're offside, it's another penalty, isn't it? Why does he need to tell them to go back?
That's James Taylor. Ball pops out. Referee here will give a penalty. So another penalty here to the Lions on Sleepy's day.
We can end up 5 on 5 here if this keeps going on.
We've got 3 minutes to go and they take the tap, and this is Hurrell. He charges into the defensive line and he's brought down. He'll get up and play the ball back now. It comes back now to Luke Higgins. He goes short. He finds header. They go out wider. Back to Lawrence. He's dropped down there from Subner. 4 points, the margin here.
Penalty for sure. Penalty for sure.
Lying around the ruck, but the referee said no. So Hurrell again goes in a dummy half, finds header, he gives it away to Taylor, and he's charging towards the goal line.
Win, lose or draw, huge second half from James Taylor. He's been one of the best on the field.
A try will give us a draw. A conversion could win it, but they need the point, and they're up quickly. They're up quickly all right on Johnson. This will probably call time off and bring another penalty.
Well, it could be 12 and 11 here in a minute, Peter.
Tommy
Aylett. Very, very raucous indeed. Tom Aylett's going to call Teeson Favielli out here. It was a hit of a high tackle. And listen to the crowd down in the Sleepy's pavilions. They're saying off, off, off. I don't know if that'll quite happen. Let's see. Aylett's having a word. He wants someone to come over. But there have been a lot of penalties.
So he's called over the captain in Andrew Subner. With 2 minutes 35 on the clock.
I wonder. No, I'm not going to bin him. The thing is, I mean, for Aylett here, I mean, he's broken the seal, hasn't he, with sin bins? And once you start sin binning people, if the penalties keep happening, well, you can only just keep sin binning people. That's not Tom Aylett's fault, it's just how the game's gone. But the players just need to calm down here, or it might be 10 on 10 or something like that.
Well, we said at the top of the program, today signifies the conclusion of what's been an extremely competitive home and away season. And what a performance this is going to be. Here's a chance out wide. They're coming back on the inside, and they had to, Flanagan.
That's Jared Edwards out on the field there in, I think, 18.
He's got the ball, dishes it away to header, back to Hurrell. He'll prop, he'll bounce, and he'll take the tackle here.
16, in fact, Jared Edwards, but he's playing in the centres.
2 minutes to go. 4-point ball game. Back to Taylor. McIntyre's out here on the wing. Will he be getting it shortly? Cook's got it. Gives it away to Christie. He goes himself. He's close.
He's not getting it down. That's great defence from Macquarie to hold him up. And that's last tackle.
Last tackle now for Souths. Comes back away now to Johnson. He's going to kick. Hayes out there. He doesn't come down with it. Is that going to be the match-winning try? Oh, they've plucked it out of the air. They have plucked near victory out of thin air, literally.
Well, Jared Edwards.
Jared Edwards.
Went on the field about 15 seconds. And the ball was hoisted into the sky. He looked second favourite by a mile there. There's a lot of carry-on going on behind the goal line. I think Greg Ricketts, the linesman's, ordering a few people about there. But Jared Edwards was $1 million to 1 to catch that. The winger over there, Matt Hay, looked to have it covered, as we see on the replay here. It was Rex Johnson who ended up with the ball. I think he was trying to get it to header. The defence rushed up and forced him to kick. And just flying through the air there, Edwards almost couldn't believe his luck when he came down with the ball. And Willie Header here, with 45 seconds on the clock, can put this over, win the game, and send South into second place for a home final next week against Wests. That will do me.
The crowd, what a day. The crowd pumped. Sleepy's day.
This is no throw over this kick, though, I've got to tell you, Peter.
It's a pressure kick.
Keeping in mind a draw, if Wests have beaten Lakes, a draw would put South into third. So this is a big kick, and it's not a throw over. He's about 15 metres to the right of the posts.
So Willie Header, the leading point scorer in the competition, has the kick with 22 seconds to go to potentially win them the match. Header hits it. He's got it! He can't do any wrong. William Header, 53 goals this season, and he's banged home the goal that's possibly going to win them the final round match over the Macquarie Scorpions.
Isn't football sensational? Dear, oh dear, there's no time left. It's all over. It's over.
The siren, it's about to go.
They have finished equal first. They're going to finish in second place. It is only points difference that gets them home. What a season this has been for South Newcastle. I mean, they started the season well, and then they started to fall away, and you thought, oh yeah, that'll be South, that'll be right. They'll finish about 5th or 6th. But they've just kept winning. It's, as you say, June 22nd was the last time they lost a game. They've had a huge win here today. They've kept pushing it till the end, and that's the really pleasing thing if you're a South supporter. It's the fact that they were behind, they looked like they were gone, they were 12 points down, and they kept finding plays, and then finally found an absolute perler with a minute to go in a big game. That's what you want to see going into the finals. As it stands on the ladder at the moment, Macquarie, they have won the minor premiership. They're on 23 points with a points difference of 162. But South have also finished on 23 points, and we're going to be back here next weekend to see them play Western Suburbs. The winner will be a game out from the grand final.
What a match, and what a conclusion to the 2016 preliminary rounds. That match had everything. That match lived up to finals football, and we can't wait until we come back here for the finals of 2016 right here in the Newcastle Rugby League. What a match. Tremendous spectacle. And to put the extra icing on the cake, to come here in the preliminary round, the last one on Sleepy's Day in front of Peter Sleep, and what he has done single-handedly, and what the players today have given back to him. Brilliant.
South was always, in the time I've been coming to Newcastle Rugby, you never got this sort of atmosphere, you know, and this sort of crowd was unusual for South, you know, and this today, the atmosphere was sensational, and it only got better as the game went on. They knew they were a chance, and they know they've got a good side, and the crowd, not just the fellas and the people down in the tents down there, but also the crowd up here in the grandstand, they lifted as the game went on, and they rolled their team forward, and they richly deserve this today, as do the players. It's been a tremendous day at the footy, I've got to tell you. Very good, and there can be no better way to set the scene for the semi-finals. I'm just going to, before we go off air, I'm just going to jump on here and see if I can get an update on the other games.
Well, this is what it's all about. A packed hill on Sleepy's Day, and the team that have done everybody over there so proud. They're going over and partying with them. That's the team that have pretty much come back from the clouds, and they've done sensational, stellar effort. And Jared Edwards, what a leap. As I said in the call, a leap from thin air to put them back. Level pegging, and then the kick to win it from Willie Header. We'll get a shot of this. We'll zoom into the bin. This is what it's all about. This is Sleepy's Day, and this is what Newcastle Rugby League, the colour and the glitz. Well, you cannot underestimate country rugby league.
No, the real NRL, it just delivers, doesn't it? I mean, this has been tremendous. It's been a really good season. Every game's been competitive. We've had 6 teams who have been in contention for the finals all year. Their position's been chopping and changing. I've got to tell you, when we started back in April, I did not expect to be here on the last day seeing Macquarie play South for the minor premiership, but that's the sort of upset and the sort of, surprise that this competition continually delivers. Bring on the finals, that's all I can say.
Oh, what a final series we're going to have over the next 4 weeks right here on Bar TV Sports. Of course, the grand final will be at Hunter Stadium for the 2nd year in a row. We're looking forward to that.
I just hope that every one of these people who's here today, whether they paid $50 to get in and be in the marquees or they were up in the grandstand, I just hope that everybody who came here today comes back next week to watch them play watch them play West, in the semi-finals. Because if we get crowds like this, like the one we had at Macquarie a couple of weeks ago, if they keep coming back, we're going to have a great atmosphere at all of our finals games, and it's going to make for a much better competition.
Listen to them singing here. We're just going to go on air for another minute or so. We might be able to just get a shot of the crowd here. They're drinking the sponsor's product, but they're dancing in the streets of Merriweather right now. You think they've actually won the grand final, but they're not getting ahead of themselves.
Well, you've got to think they're a chance, Peter. I mean, geez, Macquarie are the minor premiers, and they've probably been the best, most consistent side all year. And South have not only competed with them today, but they've rolled them, you know, and stuck it to them all game and ended up getting home. You would have to say South have got to be in there as a contender and as a serious chance to win the thing.
They're talking away.
Well, they'll be dancing in the streets, they'll be dancing on the beach, and I'll tell you what, they'll be dancing back at the club tonight. The party, it's about to continue for the South Newcastle Lions. An almighty effort. Well, we'll leave you now with these pictures. A day to savour on Sleepy's Day 2016. Jared Edwards leaping from the air to give that crowd one hell of a day to remember. On behalf of the entire production team, led of course by our brilliant cameraman and our brilliant producers, Morgan Campbell, we thank you for your involvement.
Always
it's time
pleasure.
for finals football. Get excited.
Get it happening. Bring it on.
Oh yes, we'll leave you with these pictures. Until next week when we come back here, have a great week. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Cheerio.
Big, obviously a massive, Saturday. I was just talking to Pete before about Sleepy's Day. Just tell us a little bit about Sleepy's Day and what it means to the club and everything.
Oh, it's a pretty special day. If you've been a part of it, I think most of the boys have been a part of it. I know Adam from out at Macquarie's been a part of it, so I'm sure he's drumming into their boys what it means to us, and it should draw a good crowd. So
definitely last week, mate. Well,